My name is Kevin Flynn. I'm a graduate of the architecture school at Sam Fox School, and I am currently a practicing architect with Kiko Bada & Company, a design firm here in St. Louis, and I'm on the National Council for the Sam Fox School, along with being chair of the Elliott Committee. It started, I think, probably as a little kid when I used to play with things and build things and just sort of carry forward. As I grew up, I just was interested in putting things together and understanding built environment. I think part of it may have come from my father, who was an insurance broker for homeowners for insurance. I used to follow him around when he went to different houses for insurance reasons. And so I think getting to see different residential construction was another thing that sort of kept my interest peaked, and then just decided that I did my undergrad studies at the University of Kansas, and I wanted to continue there and just became more and more involved and passionate about being an architect. I had a passion for lighting design, and I had taken courses in theatrical lighting design at WashU. As a master's of architecture student, you're only here 2 years, so it sort of flies by. The interesting part of that was that one of the reasons I came to WashU was the ability to take classes outside of the School of Architecture. And I took a great class with William Gass, who's the famous novelist and philosophy professor that was at WashU. The architecture education is really a very special education, and someone can take that education and go out and use it in many different places. There's a real, I think, collaboration that is taught, because of the studio experience in architecture schools that's really important. I think architects tend to be much more collaborative and bring a discussion where you are able to communicate with each other in a very special way. And strategic thinking, too, I think is something that's really important for architects that they bring to the table. The variety of architecture that we have here in the city and the quality of it, from neighborhood to neighborhood. I think now with where Forest Park has ended up after all the work that's done in there, having a great public space like that in the city is really fantastic. Excited to see how we as a city come together and bring downtown back will be, I think, something that we all need to work on. I was able to go to WashU because my parents paid for my education here, which is probably a rare thing these days. So that was really nice that happened. And I felt really a sense of responsibility to give back to the school because I was given that opportunity. So I guess that's why I'm doing it. And also I really enjoy working, raising money. You may find that strange, but I like doing that. But I think doing it for the fact that really is going to benefit the next generation of architecture students. And I think that's really important, that as professionals, we are always looking forward and looking how we can bring the next generation along and help them. I don't think an architect can learn everything they need to know in 4 years or 5 years. So I think the future of architectural education is going to be sort of about the continuum of education. There's going to be a way to think about your career in chunks so that you may get the basis of what you need to know to practice architecture in school, but then you're going to need to really continue your education, I think, through your life in order to stay relevant and bring value to your clients. Where technology is going to go, I think the role of the architect and how they bring their special skill sets to a job is going to be really important. Something tells me the technology side, producing drawings, will become more automated, but that I think you're never going to replace personal one-on-one interaction with architects working with each other. Especially at WashU, there's so many great professors here and programs here. And I think the broader the education an architect can have beyond the sort of architectural skill sets is going to be what firms look for in the future. I think, when we were doing the symposium, we interviewed some of the large firms and small firm roundtables. And interestingly, they both talked a lot about it's really our responsibility to sort of teach the nuts and bolts, but we really want students that can research, are inquisitive. And so I think that's going to be a really important trait for architects to have in the future. So I would urge new students to really experience as much as they can while they're in those 4 years at WashU or 2 years for graduate school.